Okay, let's look at how we can create different shapes. So we're going to use our different shape tools. So I'm going to start out with the rectangular tool, okay, the rectangle tool. So a couple different ways to do this. With the tool, especially if I have a template underneath, I could just click, hold, and drag. If I hold the Shift key, I'll constrain my object. And as I do this, I note that I can see the width. It happens to be units of inches. And just to make this easy, let's say our width and height is 0.15 inch. Okay? So if I hold the Shift key, I'll constrain to a perfect rectangle. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I still have the rectangle tool selected. If I click once and release, I will now get a dialog box where I can be very specific on the width and height. Okay, so I'm going to link these two and change the width to 0.15, and the height should be 0.15. So if I click OK, I'll now have an object of that exact same size. So I'm just going to basically move this one into position. Okay, so now our next shape, if we go back over to our shapes, let's go ahead and use the Polygon tool. And if I click and drag, I'll get a shape based on whatever was used last. Okay, so let's get our shape. Okay, and we'll click, and I'll set this to 6 sides, and let's set our radius to 1.5 and see how that works out. And we'll click OK. Now this one's a bit larger, so I'm just going to place this in basic position, like so. And now we'll scale this. So I'll just click on one of the upper corners here, and if I hold the Shift key, I can scale this. If I hold the Shift and the Option key, I'll scale from the center. So that's what I'll do. Okay? Alright, now we need a circle. So we can go and get the Ellipse tool, and of course I can drag out an ellipse, or just click once, and let's go ahead and constrain, and we'll make our width 0.15. Click OK, and we'll move this one into position. Now, to make a triangle, a couple things you can do. You could take a rectangle, we'll shift, drag out our rectangle. I'll just happen to make this 0.15. We can use our pen tool and delete an anchor point. Use the direct select tool, click the other top anchor point, and I'll just move this into position. But chances are you're never going to get perfectly aligned sides. So let's go ahead and delete this object. We'll go back to our shapes, and we'll go back to Polygon, and I'm going to click once. I'll keep the radius at 1.5, but I'll reduce the sides to 3. We'll click OK, and we'll have our triangle. Now I need to make this a little bit smaller, so I'll just get this into basic position, grab a corner, click, hold, begin to drag, and I'll hold the Shift key, and if I hold the Option key also, then I'll constrain the object, but we'll do the modification based from the center. So that modification is our scale. Alright? So now, what we're going to do is bring our alignment tool back into position here. Then I'll go ahead and select my objects, and I want to do my alignment based off of this square. So I'm going to select the square, and you'll see the square is now highlighted. So I'll align the objects horizontal, and they should be perfectly aligned horizontally. I could also do this on the lefts or the rights, but I'll go with center. Okay? So now I know they're perfectly aligned. Bring this panel back off. Now let's just make copies. So I'll do option drags. And we'll place our shapes into our different parts of the map, like so. For this last one, I need to zoom out. We'll get our triangle, and we'll option drag this one right over here. Okay, good. Next, we'll look at how to create this shape. This one's a little more complex. It's going to take a few more curves. And we also have this rounded edge to deal with, and this one comes in contact with the edge of our border, so we're going to have to get that nice straight edge on it also. So we'll look at doing that next.